Hello there, I'm Bjorn the Backyard Barbarian, and we're here in my living room gym so that I can do my physical therapy exercises for the day. I am currently rehabbing a shoulder impingement. What's happening is the top muscle in the rotator cuff is being rubbed by I can't remember the technical name, but there's a bone process that protrudes down from the collarbone into the shoulder socket that a lot of muscles and tendons connect to. Sometimes that process is a little too extended into the joint, and over time it can cause wear on that top muscle and tendon in that area. So, very common ailment among people who are active in my age range between 30 and 40. I am turning 40 this year. I've been suffering from this for about 5 to 7 years, so I fall right perfectly in that category. Now, this is the third injury that I've been rehabilitated through. The first two, I felt confident that I could do it myself. With this one, because of the area and the different routes that I was finding to manage it on my own, I decided that I would get professional assistance and go see a physical therapist and get their recommendations for exercises that would help my specific case. I knew that I had a shoulder impingement. I didn't know specifically which muscle was being impinged and how, so they helped me figure that out and gave me some exercises to try that. Two of them have been very helpful, so I've continued those, and then I've added a third exercise to replace the other ones that they gave me because I didn't find those as helpful for my specific case, and I find the one that I added beneficial to me all around. So these first two exercises, no idea if they have a name, but they're done with a resistance band. You want to use a very light resistance band. This one's the lightest one that I have now. It's significantly heavier than the ones that the physical therapist gave me, but I gifted the lightest one to a friend who has started doing these exercises, and the heavier of the two I forgot down when I was visiting family for Christmas. So now this is the lightest one that I currently have, which works for me because I think I was ready to go up in resistance weight because I've been doing these exercises now pretty consistently for 4-ish months, 3 or 4 months. So yeah, I feel that those muscles have strengthened enough that I can graduate to this band and get even more benefit because I do now have full unimpinged range of motion in my shoulder with very little discomfort, which is a big improvement from where I was before I started physical therapy. So, without further ado, here we go. We're going to hold the band with just a little bit of slack in the middle, palms up in a supinated position, elbows at a 90-degree angle, and pinned to our sides. We're going to rotate our arms outwards to the side and focus on rotating mainly through the humerus, which is the arm bone in your upper arm, because we want to rotate the head within the socket targeting the muscles here in the back of the joint. We want to be slow, controlled, mindful, and make sure we are connecting with those supporting muscles rather than the traps and the delts and the other larger muscles in that joint, because we really want to focus on strengthening those small muscles that aren't targeted by big movements. So we're going to do 10 reps. It's 1, 2, keep it slow and controlled, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Just a couple deep breaths, pause. The next exercise we're going to be doing the same resistance band, just a little bit more slack than before because we're going to be bringing our arms straight up to the side. We want to be targeting the lower portion of the sternum for where the band is going to hit our body. We don't want to be shrugging up. We don't want to be lifting it into our face or our neck. We want to make sure that we're keeping our shoulders low in the joint so that we're avoiding that impingement area while we're strengthening the muscles in the back to pull the head of the humerus back in that joint to give it more space in the front and at the top to avoid that impingement. So palms down in the pronated position, a little bit of extra slack. We're going to be going straight out to our sides, slow and controlled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, don't mind the knocking. 6, my spouse is upstairs working on a leather project. 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to be pretty sweet. It's a new purse that is a three-dimensional skull, and the top opens up, and that's where you access the bag. So yeah, that's going to be fun to see it turn out. But next exercise, we're going to be doing kettlebell halos. I'm going to be using a 15-pound kettlebell. For me, this is a reasonably light weight for like a standard kettlebell workout that includes halos. I would be usually using a 25-pound kettlebell. This year, I'm graduating up to use the 34-pound kettlebell. It's 16 kilograms. So I'm going to be using that much more often. Now that I'm acclimated to the 25, I feel it's time to start challenging myself more. But the 15 is good for physical therapy level work because you're not trying to do big movements. You're trying to focus on the small muscles in the support groups. So by dropping the kettlebell weight, I can make sure those larger muscles aren't taking over the movement, and I can really work on opening my shoulders, focusing on that full range of motion, and all those good things. So here we go. Without further ado, we're going to start kettlebell in the goblet position. You can double hammer grip it like this by the handle, or you can wrap your thumbs and fingers around the ball for a little extra support. Arms are going to be at a 90-degree angle, and we're going to keep the kettlebell close to our chest but not touching. So about 1 inch to 2 inches of gap between our thumbs or the kettlebell and our chest. So I'm going to do these in alternating sets. So I'm going to do one to the right, one to the left for a set of 10. So here we go. It's 1. Oops, I said I was going to alternate. 1, 2, 2, and I want to be keeping my torso 3 relatively stable, 3 and upright, and keep the motion 4 in my shoulders. 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, and when I'm here in the back, 7, 8, I'm really letting that weight, 8, drop down to the nape of my neck, 9, 9, to really pull the shoulders up and back, 10, 10, there we go. So by letting that weight get far back behind me, I'm really opening up the muscles here and on the inside under of the shoulder, so you really get a good stretch in that area too, and it just is a nice full open range of motion movement for the shoulders that still gives you a little bit of forearm, bicep, tricep engagement throughout the whole process. So I really enjoy kettlebell halos. I think they're an excellent exercise, and depending on the weight that you choose, good for many different purposes. So let's do round 2. Because these exercises can get tedious, I have come up with several variations that I like to rotate in. So this time, instead of doing slow and controlled set of 10, I'm going to explode out to the side and hold that for a 2 or 3 count, and then back to start and explode out, hold it for a 2 or 3 count. Oh, and we're going to do that 10 times. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. That's 1. 1, 2, 3. That's 2. 1, 2, 3. That's 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 4. 1, 2, 3. That's 5. 1, 2, 3. That's 6. 1, 2, 3. That's 7. 1, 2, 3. That's 8. 1, 2, 3. That's 9. 1, 2, 3. That's 10. It's the first time I've got an incoming call while I've been making a video. I hope it's still going. So here we go. What that does is that changes the challenge on the muscles a little bit. So where the first one I'm doing slow, controlled movement to kind of wake the muscles up. By doing the explosion and then the hold, we're working the muscles in a more isometric way, where now they're challenged to hold this weak position for a longer period of time. So it's a same target, different method. Let's do that same thing for our second exercise. Hands pronated, a little bit of extra slack. Remember, we're going to aim for the lower portion of the sternum. 1, 2, 3. That's 1. 1, 2, 3. That's 2. 1, 2, 3. That's 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 4. 1, 2, 3. That's 5. 1, 2, 3. That's 6. 1, 2, 3. That's 7. 1, 2, 3. That's 8. 1, 2, 3. That's 9. And 1, 2, 3. That's 10. All right. Whew. So here we go. The halo variation that we're going to do is now, instead of doing 1 to one side, 1 to the other side, we're going to do 10 to one side, 10 to the other side. So we get more of a flow in the motion. Still going to be focusing on keeping our torso upright and stable. We want all of the motion to be in our shoulders and our arms, not in our torso or hips. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there we go. That's 2 rounds down, 1 more round, because the prescription for the first 2 exercises from my physical therapist is 20 to 30 reps in a day. I could spread this out over time, but because I just want to get it done today, it's my off day technically, so the only exercises I'm doing today are my physical therapy exercises. I'm just going to knock them all out right here in the morning while I've got my second cup of coffee here waiting for me. And yeah, then just enjoy the rest of the day. So, without further ado, let's do our last round. We're going to hold our resistance band supinated, palms up, thumbs pointed to the side. This variation, we're going to do a slow, controlled to this position. We're not going to go to full extension. We're going to stop a little bit short, and then we're going to do 5 pulses to full extension, and then slow and controlled back. We're only going to do 5 reps of this, since we're doing 5 of the full range, and then 15 of the pulses total. Right? I don't know. We'll figure it out. No, 5 times 5, 25. Boom! Figured it out. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. All right. Switch, pronated, a little bit more slack. Same concept. Next exercise. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. Whoo-wee. And these start to get to be a challenge here at the end. You don't want it to be extremely difficult. But by the end of these 30 reps of each of these exercises, you should start to feel the fatigue in those muscle groups. And you might even start to feel the larger muscles take over a little bit. And that's perfectly natural and okay, as long as it's those, internal joint muscles is where you should feel most of the results here, the tiredness, the potential soreness. You don't want to feel it in the traps, you don't want to feel it in the delts, you don't want to feel it in your pecs, your biceps, your triceps. It should all be inside the joint. And once you get a feel for doing these regularly, you'll be able to conceptualize what I mean by the inside of the joint. My doctor was, I don't know how surprised he was that I diagnosed myself with a shoulder impingement, just based on where exactly and internally that feeling was. But you start to get an idea for like how deep the discomfort is within your body when you start doing these kinds of exercises. So anyways, last halo variation, we're going to do cross body halos. So instead of starting in the goblet position here, we're going to drop the weight to our hip on one side and start here. All right. It's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. All right, there we go. That is a full circuit of what I do for my physical therapy for my shoulder impingement. Now, that's the reason I do these exercises. I'm sharing them with you, not because I think if you have a shoulder impingement, this is exactly what you should do. I think if you have a shoulder impingement, you should seek personalized advice from a trusted physical therapist and follow their recommendations to the T for as long as they prescribe it, and then determine what helps you the most, and then carry that on into your daily life, into perpetuity. Because then you should have enough confidence in judging your own feeling inside your body to start making those calls for yourself. But that's it for me today. I hope that, oh wait, why I am showing you these is because in general, I think that these are 3 good exercises for maintaining health and mobility in your shoulders. they just happen to be perfect for fixing my shoulder impingement. It's going to be a lifetime problem that I'll have to maintain through exercise, for the rest of my life. But that's fine because I like movement and I like inspiring movement. So hopefully you feel inspired. Definitely, if you have a kettlebell, start doing halos. That is the one exercise that I feel is best for your shoulder health and mobility. So get a kettlebell, start light, get used to it, and then grow from there. I'm gonna go drink this cup of coffee. I hope that you have a great day, and don't forget that fitness is a lifelong journey, no matter when you get started, so why not get started today? Catch me in that next one. Peace.